How does the Prince of Fresh Air help with um, gaining more exposure for your acting career?
Oh man, it's been tremendous, man. When I started this podcast in 2020, it was a whole completely separate entity. I started off as controversial topics. I was talking about COVID. I was talking about politics. I was talking about George Floyd. I was talking about all that. And what ended up happening, I'll never forget. I remember my agent hits me up. He's like, "Yo, who's this guy? He's sending me email about your podcast. What's going on?" And so I found out somebody reported me to my man at my agent. He was like, "Oh yeah, Percy's a Trump supporter and all that," which I'm not. I was just talking about politics because it's hot at the time. So when that happened, I said, I got to switch the direction I'm going in. And so eventually at some point you got to level up. So for me, I was interviewing any and everybody, but I knew that at some point I couldn't just keep doing that. That direction wasn't working. So in 2021 I changed the podcast to the Prince of Fresh Air, and I went a different direction. And I got to meet and connect with famous directors, actors, people behind the scenes, sports media, journalists. And for me, it's been awesome because I get to learn about other people's journeys, but I also get to build a connection with people. So, not every podcast episode I've done with, someone who's a star in a movie or a director who's worked with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Maybe I don't work with them in the future, but at least we have that connection. We follow each other, we keep each other in touch, and if something comes up, they hit me up or I hit them up like, hey, I hear they're casting over here. They're shooting this movie. I think you'd be right for it. Let me shoot this casting director or director, call or something. So I don't do the podcast just for that. So I'm not LA. I'm not trying to get people on just for, oh yeah, Dennis, let Will Smith and them know I'm available for role. That's not how it works. But for me, it's just having those connections and meeting people because if I ever get to work with them, at least it's genuine and it came from a genuine place. Opposed to me just reaching out on Instagram like, "Yo, Dennis, huge fan, man. I got an agent. You trying to help me?" Nah, I want to know you as a person. I want to know
Right.
this director who did who worked with Quentin Tarantino. I want to know them and build that connection. So it's definitely something I'm very proud of because 5 years ago I would have never thought it would be where it is today.